Well, hello, Coffee Time friends. How y'all doing? Welcome to Coffee Time with John and Momma here on Facebook. And I'm John. This is Momma. If you're not following us, go to our page, like us, follow us, and join the coffee family. Mama, what are you doing?
Gonna can my beans.
Canning peanut green beans.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you gonna show us how?
Yeah, I'm just filling jars is all I'm doing.
Let's check Mama out here and see what she's up to.
And that's all I'm doing is just filling jars. I've got to pack these. I've got just loosely put in here. I'll start from the back side so I won't get messy.
And what does that mean to pack them?
Well, like this right here, I'm jarring them down. I just loosely put them in the jars. See how much that come down just doing that. Then I get me some more. Push them down. I don't parboil these. My mommy parboiled them, cooked them a little bit, and poured that water off and packed her jars. Your granny, your daddy's mommy, she done them like this. And I canned with her a lot, so this is how I've learned to do them over the years. This is what I've done. And they'll last for several years canned. I don't put any salt or anything in them, just plain green beans. And I think with this way you get all the nutrients, all the vitamins and everything in them. And this is all I'm doing to them.
So you start out with sanitized jars, run through the microwave, run through the dishwasher, not the microwave, and then you just loosely put them in there, and then you go back and you pack them down like this, and that jokes them down.
It gets them in closer,
and that way you don't have half a jar of water when you can them either.
Yeah. And I do it like that, and I press them down with my thumbs fingers as best as I can. Get them tight in there.
So you really do pack them.
Yeah. Because if you don't, you'll have just I've seen canned green beans where half of the jar's water and half of them's beans.
Because they do cook in there. And when green beans or anything fresh like that cooks, it cooks what we call cooks down. It's smaller.
Well, you see all these holes, and when you do it like that, always get a pad or something or a towel folded up to hit on your hand, or may not be as old as me, but my hand would bruise if I didn't have.
I tell you what will get you, Mama. It's a catcher's mitt.
A catcher's mitt.
You could use a catcher's mitt.
I don't know if I could
for
have
canning.
Catcher's mitt or not.
I'm going to buy you a canning catcher's mitt.
A canning catcher's mitt. I might have to try that.
That would be good. Now, Mama, how much is a cannon? What's a cannon?
Well, it's in my canner, it's 7 quarts of anything and 9 pints. But I don't think I'm going to have 9 pints of these
So
beans.
you'll can 2 pints of water.
Whatever it takes, I'll just put water in there and make it
enough.
Make it come out till it's.
Now, someone's going to ask us about peanut beans. These are what they call it's a heirloom bean. It's a bush bean. It's not a vine. It's not a white half runner, pink half runner. It's a peanut bean, and there's a lot of beans in them, and their shells kind of turn a pink color when they're on the vine, and they've been on there a while. Here's a close-up of what they look like. You can see they're just green beans, but they are peanut beans.
If these had got more sun, they would have been
red,
pinky and red, but they've had so much rain on them.
I don't even see any in here that is even turning.
No. I had some that's kind of getting yellow looking like that one.
This one here would have been pink in a minute.
Yeah, the bean's kind of pink.
That's the weather we've had. Another person from our area commented last night that they had planted more beans this year to have more, and they had very few, and that's the same thing happened with us. The beans have just not been a bean year here in our area. But that's the reason you can't.
Certain kinds have done better than the peanut beans,
Right.
I think.
You have to plan ahead. So if you have a good bean year, don't say, we got plenty of beans and won't fool with it. You just can those up for another time when it is slow.
I just always can what I can get, and whatever it is, I can it.
We eat a few fresh and we can the rest.
Are you a poet and don't know it?
I don't know it. Now this is called packing them down. Mama presses them down, packs them down, and look how much more beans she can add in there. Because that was full when it started. Now what that would have been, if she hadn't done that, that area would have been water.
That would have been my portion, this last little bit in here.
Now you like some peanut green beans.
Yeah.
Those peanut green beans are hard to deal with. They're hard to pick. You can't get a whole cannon. That took a lot of beans right there to get that cannon because they're little. Because they're heirloom. When you have an heirloom anything, it's the ugly tomatoes or the heirloom tomatoes. You find a perfectly red, beautiful round tomato, it's not an heirloom. The heirlooms usually are knotty and oblong and different sizes. You know when you've got an heirloom because these are seeds that are not changed in any way. They're just seeds that nature seeds. So that one didn't quite have enough for us. So what will we do with that one, Mama?
I'm going to steal a little bit off the others, maybe.
Or can that one and we'll eat it first?
Well, we'll have to eat it first, that's for certain.
So there they are. That's your...
This is pretty full, so I'll take a steal. What is it? Steal from Paul to pay Peter?
Borrowed from Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah. So that's pretty good.
So there's 8. So Mama's going to have to can a jar of water.
Mm-hmm.
In the water is... You could... I don't know what you could do with the water. We pour it out, but...
Yeah.
You're just secure. Mama also put a towel in there, but you're just keeping your other jars secure so they don't beat around in the canner and break, because they can do that. Someone said East Texas was in a drought. We have not been in a drought. We've been getting pretty good rain here. Mama's putting the water in the canner, and she'll put a... We stopped for a second. We're back. She's just put 3 quarts of water in there, but you do what you do. You just want up on the jars about halfway. You don't cover your jars. This is not a water bath. This is a pressure canner. And when you're pressure canning, it's different than a water bath. A hot water bath is where you put above your jars. You have to cover those lids and boil the water. This is not that. Amanda, thank you for those stars. You are so generous and kind. Kathy, they do look good, don't they? They will be good. We love the green beans. We love some good peanut green beans.
I forgot to get the lids to put on. This is just ball cannon lids.
Ball cannon lids.
And if you can angle it over here at the sink, I'll show them what I just take the jars and fill them full of water.
We have city water, but by the time you boil it, it don't really. You don't notice it. We don't. Now, this is the way Mama cans. We're not teaching you all how to can. You all go on a ball, B-A-L-L site or other site and learn.
They have ball
Canning. Mama's been canning for 70 years.
I ain't but 74. I didn't start, or 73. I won't be 74 for 4 more months.
Well, Mama, the next time you tell that story, you'll say, I've been canning since I was 4 years old.
No, I won't.
When did you start canning as a girl, Mama?
You start helping when you're little, breaking up beans and washing beans.
How old was you when you started helping?
I don't remember.
Was you 4?
Probably not. I probably broke beans at 4.
There you go. I told you. She'll be saying that she's...
No, Daddy would string the beans and look them when we was little and put them in a pan, and then we would break them.
So she's been canning for 69.5 years. Is that better?
That's what he would always do. He'd say, don't want no spots left on them, but he would string them and look them, and while Mommy's doing other stuff and everything. We was cleaning out the cellar, and I cut my hand. I was washing the jars outside in a tub. We emptied them, and then we washed them outside, and then we took them inside and washed them again, scalded them, and done all of that stuff. And I cut my hand. I've got a scar across it, that right there. And Daddy said it bled forever. And Daddy said, I can't believe it. You'd cut your hand half off. Just get out of keep from washing a few jars. It took forever for it to heal.
Now, Mama's taking a wet, clean paper towel, and she's wiping around that rim. Probably there's nothing on it, because all she did is put the beans in there. But you want to wipe them right before you put your seal on there. Make sure that they seal, and you want to make them finger tight. That's just taking the ring after you put the flat on there.
Well, I'll tighten a little more with the towel when I put them in the canner.
But you don't want them too tight, or your flat could buckle. And that's the flat that's in her hand there. And then she's taking a wet paper towel, and you put the rubber on there. You don't have to boil these flats. You do for when you're letting them sit on the counter. But now these will boil in there, and
they'll get hot. They get under.
They cook. The green beans will be cooked when she brings them out. The rings that she's putting on there, you can reuse those year after year as long as they're not rusty or something.
Or not got a dent in them.
Or not got a dent in them. But the flats, you never, ever want to reuse a flat for pressure canning. Some people will use their flats for jelly or something like that, but we don't. I mean, that canned food in there is such a precious commodity, you sure don't want to... Mama dropped a bean. You sure don't want to lose what you've worked so hard to can.
It's just a slow process. Now on that water jar, I am going to use a flat that I've already had on the jar, because it's not going to...
We don't care if we lose that water, it'll be alright.
It don't have to seal or nothing.
No.
So that's why I'm going to use it. So it's a good idea to save a few flats for that.
But don't mix them up with your good ones.
Well, no. Don't ever do that.
But you want to wipe each one and put your seal on there, make sure the goods sealed, everything's sterilized and all that good stuff.
Now I'm going to take this dish towel. I'm going to turn my water
Okay, let's see here. It says, did she only put water in there, no salt, no season, no vinegar? How long can they keep in a jar for? Jill, there's no salt, no vinegar, just water, green beans packed in water. We don't put any salt or any of that stuff in. We will use green beans.
They'll last 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years. We never lose green beans.
And unless the leads are bad. 1 year we...
Jimmy, tighten those, Mom.
No, I have to get them off, so I figure if I put them on, I can get them.
Do they have to be that tightened?
Well, I'm not that stout. You probably turn it more than me.
Okay. So that's all she's doing is loading the canner. Now there's a danger to pressure cooking, but if you watch it, you don't let it get too hot. You regulate your temperatures. You don't go in the other room. You don't read a book. You don't do all that. You stay with it. Then it can be a safe event.
That and I didn't get on there at all. I just set it on top.
Mama's not allowed to can if I'm not here or someone's not here with her.
I have
you,
for
Mom?
years. Just to this year you've got on.
It's just that if Mama's sugar was to get low or something and she couldn't get it up in time to check the canner or something, there's just more of a danger now than there once was, in my opinion. And I'm overprotective, yeah, I know. Don't start fussing because I'm not going to quit telling her what to do. Who said, leave Mama alone? No, that's not my job. My job is to protect Mama. And
The reason I'm canning in pints, we've got several quarts left. And if we have a big meal, we don't need a whole quart. We just need.
Holly says you're losing so much weight, Mama.
I'm losing weight.
That's what she says.
Oh, good.
Are you?
I don't think so. Maybe it's my black blouse.
Are you trying to lose weight, Mama?
Well,
She claims she is, Holly. She says, I'm trying to lose some weight.
I can't quit eating. I'm a pig. I'm just going to take this dish right. It's hand dish towel. And the reason I'm doing this, these pints don't hardly
Kathy, thank you for being here.
close enough to keep them from jolting together. So I'm putting that towel in there.
They say you're always busy, Mama.
Oh no. They just see me when I'm busy. They don't see me when I'm lazy or sitting around.
Mama does take it easy occasionally. She used to, to do that, but she's trying to do better and not feel like she has to be on the go all the time. But now, here's Mama. Whenever she is doing something, you can't nail her down. Y'all see me try to nail her down here, and I can't. She's constantly on the go, and that's Mama. And people say, you run Mama too much, John. John don't run Mama. Mama, do I run you?
No.
You are on the go 24/7 when you're doing something. But now you do relax it down whenever you get a chance now.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad you did.
And right here is close and open on the canner. It's wrote right here on one side. The other side don't have it. So that's important. You put it you see the closed, and that's the open part right there.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they look like. Mama puts a little towel in there. You don't have to. Like I said,
My old old canner had a rack, and it would tighten up, around it. And this right here, when you got the open and close here in front, you make sure this is facing you, and it'll sit right down on it, right behind this handle here. And all you do is press this together. It's a little hard, but you can see it's lined up on each side. And now all you do is let it get hot. When the steam comes from this real good.
One very important part Mama forgot to tell you.
Check. Let me show you. I'll get this back off. You look through this right here.
Look through there and see if you see daylight.
Yeah, you can go this way and you can see the light. I don't know.
That's the wrong one. I'm trying to show the camera.
Yeah, that's the right one.
I'm trying to show the camera and it won't let me.
Well, no, because it's so little.
Yeah.
But that's the right one.
Make sure you can see daylight through there.
Nothing's stopping it or nothing.
Because that is dangerous.
And like I said, you just slide it on there like that. Tighten it up. And when the steam comes up through that, starts coming up through that, you put your little jiggler thing on it and turn around here, Johnny. And after it starts building pressure on this back side over here, you see this little thing here, that little shiny thing will pop right up, and you can hear it and see it. And when that happens, this hand will start building pressure, going right on up.
And your bottle canning book will tell you the pressures. It'll tell you how long.
Now, I'm old-fashioned. I do my pints. I do my quarts for 30 minutes, and I put it on 15-pound pressure. Most of people can on 10-pound. But I do my quarts on 15-pound pressure for 30 minutes, and my pints on 15-pound pressure for 25 minutes. So, and it's already, you can hear it getting hot because I've had it on, getting the water warm. And now it's just wait and do, wait and see.
Wait and see. Mama, you make it sound like there's a wait and see.
Yeah, that's all you have to do is just wait and watch it. Keep your eye on it. Do not leave the kitchen once the pressure starts going up in your tub.
You have to be ever vigilant. Don't you, Mom?
Yeah. All you do is just put your lids back in the box they come in, save them for the next time.
Okay.
And that's all I've done.
Sounds good, Mama.
And that's my canning.
And that's canning peanut green beans, 101 Davis style. Right here with Mama. Let me get y'all set back up.
You get them on you so you can talk to it. I'm going to wash my bowls up.
Mama don't like to be on the camera. She don't mind to be on here with me as long as I'm here to talk. And I said, Mama, why don't you jump on there? I even taught her how to go live all by herself, and she says, no, I ain't doing it. We don't want to wait till the process is over, so we'll try to come back live and show you the finished product. But I'm going to show you one little quick and easy. Mama, you want to do that dip now, or do you want to do that later?
Whatever, you're doing it.
We may do it later. We may do a separate video later. I'm going to show you how to make a delicious fruit dip for 2 reasons. Because it's so simple, it's so easy. And we got fresh cantaloupe, and I want muskmelon, and I want some of that dip. And it's a simple, easy dip. Now, I shared the sad news with y'all last night that we'd already cut our last Vidalia onion. So I went to the farmer's market this morning, and they had these jewels. Look how pretty that is. This is not a Vidalia. It's not even a flat onion. It's not a Texas sweet. This is a brand or a type that they grow, he said, and they're called candied onions, and he says they're super sweet. They smell sweet, but they're not the typical flat sweet like the Texas Pete. Here's one I got 2 of them. But I think we're going to give them a try. I'm sure.
Usually a sign of a sweet onion is if they're flat like a Vidalia.
We'll tell you, we'll peel this one with you one day or cut it. It seems to be peeled already. There might be an outer layer there we'll cut off, but it's still got the root and everything. This one's got a little bit of white peeling. It's like a white onion, but he said they are called candied onions anymore.
Yeah. And I forgot to tell you, you don't start timing your can as soon as you put it on. You don't start timing the 25 minutes or 30 minutes until the pressure gets up to 15 or 10, whatever. But I recommend you go to the bowl. There's bowl canning books or bowl canning sites you can go to. Go to and do that to do it correctly like they're supposed to be.
Once you've been canning for a while, you get your own little routine, your own little way of doing things like Mama does. But you do you. We're not saying do this and you're 100%.
But you don't time until the pressure builds up.
I also got these wonderful, I guess they'll be wonderful, jalapenos. And what I'm planning on doing is a stuffed jalapeno recipe. But I'm going to probably cut these, not do them in the whole pepper. I'm probably going to try to cut these a little bit and maybe fill the rings. I may do the whole pepper, I don't know, but I just got 4 of them today. So we'll either have 4 stuffed, or I'll cut them in rings and maybe or do half of them or something. And we're going to try them in the air fryer. I've got a good recipe. I'm going to give that a shot. So that's a couple of things we're going to do. I actually thought I was getting more jalapenos, and I told him, he had a whole thing of them, and I said, give me a few of those, and I guess this is what he thought I was wanting. So probably if I had 8, would have had a good dish of them. But we can cut these in half and make 8, because you got to bite them. But I love fresh jalapenos. I even like to take fresh jalapenos, put them in some vinegar, and put them in the refrigerator, and have them a little bit like that. Kind of like you do onions and cucumbers in the refrigerator. In fact, I've got some onions and cucumbers in the refrigerator that I put them in some apple cider vinegar, and they are so good. Have you ever done that? We usually do it with our leftover cucumbers once we eat them fresh on the table. Then we will put them in whatever's left over of the onions. And
those are not hot on your hands.
No, Mama, jalapenos aren't that hot. Just because they're red don't mean they're that hot. In fact, one of the signs of a hot pepper is they're small. Those little bitty skinny ones.
Oh, those little bitty.
Those are hot, Mama. And those little bitty habaneros that are about that big, those are hot. So usually the smaller the pepper, the hotter the pepper. It's not the color. These are a sweeter jalapeno. Well, I don't know if it's a sweeter jalapeno, but jalapenos are a sweeter pepper. You've eaten jalapenos. You love Harry and David's pepper.
Yeah.
That's what they make it.
But that cream cheese tames it down.
Cream cheese. It's going to have cream cheese. It's going to have bacon, cream cheese, and some little other seasonings that we throw in there. We'll do that sometime soon. I don't know when. Maybe today. We was going to make the dip today, but you want to do it on a different video, Mama?
It don't matter.
Because this one's all about canning.
Yeah.
We're not going to keep you out because it's going to take it about 15 or 20 minutes to get to pressure.
It takes a little longer than that, really.
Yeah, and then if she pressures these for 25 minutes,
we're talking about another hour.
Probably another hour of us chit-chatting, which would be fine, but I'm sure y'all got better things to do at 1 o'clock on Saturday or 1:10 on Saturday. So we're going to say goodbye on this video. We will come back with a second video, and I'll title it something you'll know, maybe finishing up the peanut green bean cannon. So
all that's left of them is to take them out. I set them on a counter where I don't have to move them for at least 24 hours. I set them out of the way for then, and then I'll recheck them, make sure, as Johnny's job was growing up, count the seals as they pop.
That was always fun.
And make sure that they're still sealed and all right before I ever put them on the shelves, put them up.
And you want to leave them there as long as you can, like 24 hours for sure, but you want to leave them, it don't hurt. Mama will leave them sometimes 3 or 4 days and just to check to make sure, because once you put them on the shelf, if they come unsealed in there, you're less likely to know it and check them. Because if you check it, if you find one that's unsealed or comes unsealed, in our opinion, it's okay to go ahead and eat those. We just eat them.
Soon and check them out.
Right. You want to check them that day. But now you do you. We don't tell you what's right. I don't want to ever come off as saying, if you do this, it's okay. We're just saying, here's what we do, and we've lived, and if you want to try it, you try it. But if one does come unsealed or doesn't seal correctly, we go ahead and eat it then that day. Or, well, you can cook it just like you would. You can put them in the refrigerator and cook them the next day or something. You don't have to hurry and eat a jar of beans. Just use them like you would if you just opened the jar. Makes this what I'm saying. And it'll be a while. Canning is a process, and it takes a while. It's a slow process, depending on what you're canning. But this is pressure canning. This is not.
When my beans does good, I put on the cannon and I sit here and break up more while Atten's canning, and that way you don't have no, I call it dead time. You're staying busy the whole time.
Yeah. But this is not hot bathing. This is pressure canning.
Very dangerous.
There's 2 different ways of canning. In hot bathing, they're both good, but this is pressure canning. Just because you're using water and everything, it still makes it pressure canning.
We used to can some in a wash kettle outside and keep a bar under it, keep it going and stuff. But you have to cook beans like for 3 hours outside.
I knew a family that done it just up until recently. That's the way they done theirs. Build the fire outside and do a wash kettle and boil them outside again.
Yeah, that's so time consuming, buddy, that way.
It is, Aunt Mama.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we're going to be canning beans. I don't know what you all are going to be up to, but that's what we're up to. We're going to be canning beans today, and it's going to be so good. So y'all come back and be with us, and we'll say until they're done, we'll be hanging here watching that pressure cooker.
8 meals this winter. We'll have some good canned
Or
beans.
maybe more than that, Mama, because sometimes we don't eat a whole pint.
I know it.
So, but it'll climb up to 10 pounds, which Mama goes to 15. And what you do is you adjust your heat. How do you control that? You adjust your heat on your stove to keep it cooler, and if you see it's going down too far, you pull up the burner just a little bit.
And when it gets too high, it'll start jiggling like crazy, and that's when it starts getting dangerous.
And you will notice we're not in the canning kitchen.
It's hot out there.
It's too hot out there. Mama wanted the kitchen so she could can out there, but it is
But
too...
you wouldn't film out there. It'd be too hot.
It'd be too hot. We're going to have to get air out there. AC, for sure, in the garage, before we can can. It's too hot. It's 80 degrees. And if you start canning, it's hot. Now she put the little, we call it the jiggler, or the weight, whatever you want to call it. She put it on just now because it was starting to steam to come out. So that's what you do. Mama loves to can. Don't you?
Yeah.
It's work. And some years she will declare, I'm not canning this year, I just ain't feeling with it.
Yeah.
But then she comes back and she says, I gotta have me some fresh canned green beans. She used to can all day long for days.
I've canned 108 quarts of green beans and
that's 8 6 at a time for quarts.
7 quarts.
7 at a time for quarts, and she'll do 100.
Over 100 and stuff.
That's a lot. Good eating, but it's hard.
You pick them and break them and get jars ready and all this stuff. It takes a while.
Takes a while. We got a lady at our church who has spoiled us a little bit. She brought some store-bought canned green beans to church, and I'm very picky. I only really will eat peanut beans much. Mama will too. Mama don't really. We will eat some flat ramas sometimes. But the lady from church brought just store-bought canned green beans, and I thought they were white half runners, which they probably were. And they tasted so good, so good. And she was telling Mama how she made them, and I said, Did you can that? She said, no, those are store-bought. I was blown away. I couldn't believe how good they tasted. And so Mama said, we may just quit canning beans if we can make them taste this good, didn't you, Mama?
Yeah.
So there are little secrets out there. There's people who have secrets on how to get them to taste so good. And I believe it now because those were some pretty good green beans. They were very, very tasty. I told her, I said, you spoiled us to the other side of the green bean family because I always thought we had to have peanut green beans, which I hope we can always have them because we do love them. They are delicious. And you always were, some of y'all was asking about seeds. Riverside Produce will mail them to you. He mailed out a bunch of y'all some this year. I don't know if he still has them, but you can go to their website and you can certainly contact them. Riverside Produce, Williamsburg, Kentucky, and they can hook you up with seeds like that. And I'm sure they'll be glad to mail them to you. And so just tell him you saw it on Coffee Time and he'll know who you all are. And they can mail them to you. Now, I'm not telling you he's got them now because probably it's past seed time. But when he does have them, you can get them there because some of y'all are having trouble getting them. If you go to a Co-op or a Mayo or something like that and they tell you, oh, peanut beans, that's just a pink half runner. It's not. Some of y'all sent us some pink half runner seeds last year. Mama planted them. The vines are different. The beans are different. The whole thing is different. A peanut bean is a bush bean. It just comes up, makes a bush. They're little. The beans are, some of them are not much bigger than that. They're kind of, they don't come straight.
They're like the size of a greasy bean.
They're kind of like a greasy bean once you've dried them, or a dry bean, but they're not. They're our favorite bean. My uncle always grew them, and they're delicious, aren't they, Mom?
Yeah. My mommy always planted peanut beans every year. That's her favorite bean was the peanut bean, and she always planted them. And they usually come in faster than a lot of the other beans.
And they're delicious. Aren't they, Mom?
Yeah. They're not a green bean when they're canned, and
they're a brownish, really, and a pinky looking.
They're I said they're between a green bean and a shuck bean.
Yeah.
Or a dried bean.
They're more than, a lot of people, when they have our beans, they'll say, oh, these are shuck beans. And no, because they're not a green, they're not a green bean. They're brownish, reddish, pinkish looking peanut beans are. And, but they're good. You got some canned up here?
Yeah. I showed them the can.
Show them a can, how it's going to turn out, because some of them don't catch the second video. Where are they at? Over on the shelf?
No.
Mama's got one she's going to show y'all, a completed one, a finished product. Not this year's. I don't think she's candying. Have you candied this year, Mama?
No,
This is her first can. And it's late. It's late. Today's the 30th of July. Last day of July. Where did it go? We're going to head into August. Now you hear that little snake over there? That's that jiggler. Can y'all hear that?
These are lights.
Pressure's moving up. Well, folks, we're up to 15 pounds pressure. So that didn't take long as we usually do.
Well, the new gasket you ordered me last year has helped a whole lot.
Mama said that new gasket she finally let me order is working. I kept saying, Mama, let's order a new gasket. No, I can get this one to work. I said, Mama, you shouldn't have to get it to work. Let's get a new gasket. I didn't even know about the little plug in the middle and the little thing. And they sent it with the gasket. And I said, Mom, what's this? She said, oh, that. I said, you mean that's that old too? You've been holding out on me. I didn't know about them. And so it's up to 15 pounds. So it'll only have to go, how many more?
25 minutes.
25 minutes at 15 pounds is what she does. And that's not what Ball says. That's what she does. Here's the beans, and this is what they look like. See, they're a brownish, and you can see the little pink beans in there. They're not like a green bean.
Not like white half runners.
Not like white half runners, but they are so good. But you can see the pink beans in there. I don't know where they got their name. I say it's because their little beans kind of resemble peanuts in there. They look like peanut beans. So I say that's how they probably got it. But, and they are a pinky brown. See, it looks like peanuts in there. But that's the color that these will be. And you can see, Mama's does not have, there's beans all the way to the top. You don't have that inch or so of water that some of them have. And that's because she packs them. See, that looks like a peanut. Does that not look like a peanut? And so that's the reason they get their name. Peanut, I think. I'm going to make that up and say that's what it is. Because I don't really know, but that's what I always thought. But see, this full. Green beans to the top. That's a pint. Here's a quart. Same thing. Now that's a frost that's on that glass.
That's what I've used it so many years.
From using it for years. That's not dust or dirt. See, I'm wiping it. It's not coming off. That is a frost that's on that where you use it and it's just an old jar.
It's the calcium from the city water.
It's an old jar. But see how they're full green beans to the top? No salt. Nothing. No vinegar. nothing. Water, green beans, jar, clean. That's the recipe. So
These was last year beans.
those were last year's, 2021. And then here's another thing. You always want to mark on top, say Mama's wrote 2021 on those. You don't reuse those lids anyway, so it don't hurt a thing. Just write whatever you want on there. Put a heart on there.
And that was canned in July.
What you draw up there? What's that?
What? That's supposed to be 7. I was shaking my hands.
So, that's a 7, she said. I thought it was a horseshoe. 7, 2021.
And this is, I took the date on that.
These she canned 9/25, 2021. So
them was the late ones I planted.
she planted some late ones. I never would have thought that was a 7.
I wouldn't have either.
She must have missed her pen there.
When you get to working a lot, you get in a hurry.
Mark it and go. Mark it and go. So, folks, we've got about 25 more minutes. And when we get ready to check them out, we'll pop back on live. If you can't join us, you can always do a replay. And you can replay any of our videos. They're on here. And some people will say, please replay that one, John. You all can replay it. Just go to our page, Coffee Time with John and Momma, and you'll find all of our videos. You can even look on your page at the top up here and search and add the word Coffee Time. And you'll see 3 videos of pimento cheese. Or you'll see probably 2 or 3 videos of canning green beans. Whatever we've titled it is what it'll be, and most of the time I try to title pretty simple, like meatloaf. I don't do a whole lot of extra, so you can find it easy. And then on our page, there for a while, they were untitled, and I don't know how they got untitled to start with, but now they're back to being all titled again, which is a good thing. So you can go to our page and just search, and our videos will come up. You can put, it's post now, I believe what's titled. It's what's titled on mine is post, so it'll show you all the posts, including videos, in one place now. If yours is not updated, it may still say videos, so that works too. I've noticed some pages have updated, some pages have not. Ours did. We didn't choose, and it updated on its own. And that's when they also added the blurb at the bottom that says Coffee Time with John and Momma, and then it says during the broadcast you can support and all that. That's something Facebook pins to everyone. I can't take it off, can't do nothing about it. So that's what they do. Some of y'all have questions about that on each video. It's not us. We're not asking you to do stars. If you want to, we appreciate them, but you certainly don't have to do a thing on Coffee Time to enjoy the content. It's all about enjoying for free, for fun, and relaxation. That's all we ask. So, we're going to finish these beans, and in about 25 minutes we'll come back on and we'll show you the boiling hot beans in the jars, and they will boil in the jars.
You'll have to turn your fan off then and everything.
Yeah, I have to turn the fan off, everything. You can't have a fan on when you take them jars out. Don't you do it. You could crack a jar. Any kind of breeze, cross breeze. You don't want to do it where it's blowing or any of that good stuff. Air vent, air conditioner.
I leave the air conditioner.
We leave the air conditioner on. But like if you have a vent close to where your jars are, you don't want nothing hitting those jars, air or anything. If you're like my mama, you'll put down like 3 or 4 towels. Not too many. You don't want too thick that they turn over. But you'll put down a good measure of towel, and that way you set them on at one time. You take them out, set them down, and leave them. Don't disturb them. Don't move them for 24 hours. And then we leave them there.
A lot of people I know do move them, but I just never did have the I always let mine sit and rest, like I always said.
Just let them do their thing. And then Mama usually leaves hers there for a day or two. Like she'll probably Monday put them on the shelf. 72 hours, 48 hours. And she will just watch them on the counter. Make sure before she puts them on the shelf they're all still good. You just take your hand, rub across the top. If it don't click, it don't move, it's tight.
You can see the top if you know what you're looking for. The little dome in the center of the lid will be down. And if it's raised up or coned up over
you'll hear it go click, 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 click.
You can touch it and it's not sealed.
Yeah. That is green we'll be back. If I keep talking, it'll be time to come back.